I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why self-help is such an absolute pain in the fucking ass. I've been applying the techniques and things that I share with you in my video newsletters and my articles and my book for the better part of 2 decades now. And so I've got a long history of applying these principles, seeing how they work in my own life, the life of my friends and family, and the lives of my clients. And so I know it works and I know it doesn't work. And no matter where you are, I guarantee you I've already been there, and I've struggled with the same things that you're struggling with right now. There's this great quote that I love by Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he says, "It's never crowded along the extra mile." And what he's referring to is, say you're on a decade-long quest. Maybe you're working to become a doctor, or maybe you figure it's going to take you 10 years to work up to becoming CEO of the company that you work for. Or maybe that idea that you have for a business right now that you haven't started yet, maybe it's going to take 10 years to go from the point where it's simply an idea to where it's a multi-million-dollar company. And so the key for people like you and I, because if you're watching this video, then you need to pat yourself in the back because you're one of the very rare people. Because let's face it, most of the people that you're going to meet in your average everyday life, and unfortunately, this is going to include a lot of your friends and a lot of your family, most of them are just fucking absolutely weak bitches. And it's not saying a bad thing, I'm just acknowledging what is the truth. Because when I look at the number of people that download my book versus the number that actually sign up for coaching calls, I mean, I have some really absolutely spectacularly amazing friends that have accomplished amazing things, built multi-million-dollar corporations, come up with things and companies that you and I take for granted these days. But yet, when I look at a lot of these people, I mean, they know me, they know the things that I've applied in my own life, whether it's something to do with health or dating or relationships, becoming more successful with women, business tools, being an entrepreneur, leadership, whatever it happens to be. It's like you share these things with, I mean, I share with friends that you would think they would want to apply this kind of stuff. And they just don't. And most people, it's like Tony Robbins has this quote. He says, it's not that people are, the reason they're successful is because they have impotent goals. In other words, goals that do not inspire them. And like when you're trying to accomplish something, I mean, every day, just say you're in the middle of a 10-year quest, maybe it's to become a doctor or whatever, there's going to be days where you're going to wake up where you're not going to feel like doing anything. Like you're not going to feel like going to the gym to work out, or if you're out of stuff to juice vegetables with, you're not going to feel like getting in your car and driving to Whole Foods because it's 30 degrees out and you're tired, you feel like you just want to sleep in. What being successful boils down to is being willing to do little things on a daily basis, taking little action steps, even though doing those action steps is not going to bring you overnight success. It's not going to make any really huge major change in your life. But what happens over time is those little moments where you spend a half hour or an hour or maybe a few hours on a daily basis working at something or taking action, doing something, that in the big scheme of things, over time, when you, on a daily basis, take those little consistent disciplines, those are what add up to the successes. Because it's unpleasant. When it's interesting, like my book, every man should read my book. I can go out right now in the street and look in the eyes of most of the guys that I see walking by, and I can tell they need to know the material that's in my book. But most guys tend to be egocentric. They would rather continue failing than to do anything to help themselves. And even those guys that do read it and know they need to apply what's in the book, they don't. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to be faced with your own irrational fears, your own shortcomings, your own insecurities, I have guys that write to me and they're like, oh my God, somebody's going to see this. Please, they're worried about what appears online and, something they wrote me asking for help. And then they're worried about somebody seeing it. I was like, dude, that's your fucking problem. You actually give a shit what other people think about you. And because of that, that affects how you interact with other human beings. It causes you to show up and act in ways that are not congruent with who you really are, and not congruent with somebody that's a normal, healthy person, and therefore you push people away because of it. Or it's somebody that says, they're 5'7" and they're 300 pounds, and they go, I'm just a little overweight. It's like, no, you're fucking fat. It's like you got to be brutal. Like for me, I have to be brutally honest with people, because everybody. It's easy to look yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm a few pounds overweight, when you can barely fit through the fucking door, or you can barely get in, it takes you 20 minutes to get into your car because you're so fat. And when you tell people that, oh, you shouldn't say things like that to offend people, it's like, you got to be real. Because I only have a real short window, or a window of opportunity, to affect change in someone's life, or to say something that's going to cause them to pause and say, you know what I've been doing has not been getting me the results I want in my own life. And cause them to start applying something new. Because if where you are, it's like another thing Wayne Dyer says. He says, wherever you are right now in your life, good or bad, whether you're happy or not, your best fucking thinking got you to where you are. And the only thing that's going to move you from where you are now to where you eventually want to be is taking action, little daily action. When you first decide something, or whether it's going to school or starting a business, you're not going to see a lot of evidence of success in your life, or that future success that you want. If you're totally broke now and you want to be a multimillionaire someday with a great business that influences millions of lives, but yet you're not there, when you start taking effort, 6 months, maybe a year, maybe even 2 years from now, there's not going to be much evidence in your life of that future success. More than likely, you'll know a lot of things that aren't going to work. You'll have a lot of things that you will have tried and that have failed. But at the end of the day, it's not until you get closer and closer to achieving that goal, especially when they're many years or decades into the future, the closer you get, the more evidence you see showing up in your life of the fact that the success that you want and that you've been chasing for so long is getting closer and closer. And there's going to come times when you're going to see, wow, I can really see the light at the end of the tunnel. That success that I've wanted, or those numbers I wanted to hit in my website, or that sales number I wanted to hit, it's months, weeks, maybe days away. But at the end of the day, it's still not here today. It's someplace in the future. And so you got to find a way to keep fucking fighting inch by inch, because you're surrounded by weak people who are too weak to follow their own dreams. And by them attacking you or making fun of you or teasing you, if they can get you to come down to their level of mediocrity, then they don't feel so uncomfortable about themselves. Because most people have a herd mentality. They won't do things until the majority of the herd does. And so if you're watching this video, you're a leader. You're one of the few people that's out there in the front lines, like I am, making the changes in your own life, because most of the people that you're going to meet, including your close friends and family, aren't going to do a damn thing to help themselves, even when they see that your efforts have gotten you tremendous results. The only thing you can do is you can keep on fighting, because quitting lasts forever. And so if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen, if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button, and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located on the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. And if you've got a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic that you'd like me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen if you're watching this on my website, and just send me 3 or 4 paragraphs detailing your situation, and give me several days to get back to you with the response, because I get a lot of email, and I've got to take care of my paying phone coaching customers' emails first, because I get a lot from them as well. And if you'd like to talk to me right away so I can help you with a situation or a challenge that you're having, click the products tab and just follow the instructions for booking a paid phone coaching session. And I will talk to you soon.